What's going on? It looks like we are live. It is a very, very small new comic book day this week. This is going to be probably a fairly short video. All things considered, I think a lot of people kind of know. Every so often, you hit that fifth Wednesday in a week. And usually they're a little bit shorter, but it seems like I only got stuff from two publishers today. So, first book we got is Devil's Highway number 4. I think for whatever reason I showed off issue number 1 of this and I left it downstairs and I kind of forgot about it. So I still haven't read any issues of that. I did love a lot of the first series. I really enjoyed it. I think that's it's still Benjamin Percy, who I really like. He actually has written a few novels that I've read too. And it's AWA has released a lot of solid books. And keeping on the AWA trains, we have the Joneses. This is number 5 of 5. I've read the first 2 issues. I kind of got behind on that, but the first 2 issues were really good. So the idea is kind of that if you follow AWA, one of the things that they're doing and one of the worlds that they're building is called ah, it just completely slipped my tongue. But they have the Resistance. That's what it is. Sorry, they have this world. It's like this own superhero world. It's weird because they released their first book, I think, in like February of 2020, and it's kind of that there's this pandemic that ends up giving certain people superpowers. So this is about a family that is kind of a good family, and they're kind of found a rivals, supervillain team too. But it's kind of a cool little story with that. This is definitely was one of my favorite covers of the week. Um, and it is for Harley Quinn annual. I don't know. I just really liked this cover. I know that when I was looking at all the books for this month, this was one of my favorite covers. And then I've actually read this book, and surprisingly, I guess I apparently spent a little too much money because I've been buying every cover that is the main covers for the Yara book. So this is Wonder Girl annual number 1. And this is the B cover. I like both of those covers, but I read this. It's pretty good. Hey, what's going on? I assume this is Lee. It's always Lee. I don't know. I would not assume that it's that. How is Australia? It's probably morning time where you are. But yeah, I really liked Wonder Girl Annual. It's pretty solid overall. I mean, there's kind of if you read any of the Wonder Girl stuff, there's Jerry story kind of in the beginning of it. It starts off with this little Jerry story that's pretty fun. Jerry was a character that I really dug from that. But like I said, pretty small week, only 4 different books, and I got 2 covers of one. Just because that's one of the things I figure Yara is a character that I would really like to see. I mean, I've even showed this off multiple times. I've got this little Yara pop. This is pretty close to my desk, as I could just grab it and show it to you. But I try and get everything that I can. It is 10 to 11 a.m. Hey, well, it is 12 to 9 p.m. here. So for all the people that randomly don't care about times and places, you'll now see that if you watch this on the rewind. So one of the other things that I wanted to do on this, because it was such a short day, I wanted to kind of include a little video here for an entry for a VR. So Astro-Creep, aka Chris Hansen, I'll have this information. It should already be down below. You can go sub him up. He had just recently gotten 13 subscribers. So he was doing a 13 subscriber giveaway. I heard about this from David's Horror. If you haven't checked out David's Horror, I did an entry to one of his Halloween summer movies. So you can probably go back and find that. And maybe I'll come back and link the tag up here for people watching the rewatch. But one of the things that he wanted you to do was make a video and shout out his channel. So I did. Could you please sing a song before you go to? I will sing a song for something that is part of this giveaway just for you. So the first part was to show off a movie. Actually, it'll be this part. So show off a movie or an album that has a 13 in it. And this is technically cheating, but it has 1-3, which is a 13 in it, and it is for a band that I just recently kind of got into, but it is the Misfits, and there's a song on this called "We Are 138," which, if you don't know that song goes, "We are 138, we are 138," but 1 3, that's 13. This is the closest that I have to an album that has a 13 in a track title. I don't actually have any albums. I've looked up so many different things. And I don't have any of those albums that have a title called 13. Like I have like a Lana Del Rey album, but I don't have the one that has 13 in the title. And yeah, there's a Misfit song for you. So, Ignacio, welcome. And yeah, the other second part to this was to show off an album or movie when you were 13 years old. Now, I looked this one up. There is a possibility that I had an album, but I wasn't sure. And then I kind of thought I had a movie that I really wanted to show off. And I don't know, that movie is Pie. That was a movie I really liked as an adolescent teenager. I probably didn't watch it when I was 13, but I did when I was probably like 17. But this is another movie I liked as an adolescent, and I actually own a physical copy of this. I had to find like my Blu-rays in the basement to make sure that I got that. But it is American History X. Edward Norton is pretty crazy in this this movie. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy movie if you haven't seen it. It's pretty graphic, but that is a movie that came out when I was 13 years old. I technically might have been 12, but it came out the year that I turned 13. And hey, welcome, Geek Out with Roscoe. Don't you have the 13th Step by A Perfect Circle? I don't have any A Perfect Circle albums or Tool albums. I probably would own A Perfect Circle album. I just have not acquired it at this point in my life yet. But that was it. It was a fairly simple video, kind of, going on the number 13. So if you have a record and or a movie collection and you have some 13 related things, I highly recommend you go check him out. Also check him out if you're into metal. I know you know, what David Sawyer was saying a lot about this channel is that he listens to a lot of metal and there is a metal fan. I think one of the prizes you can win is an Anthrax MIDI record player. So that was another thing there. Collecting with Durs, hopping in real quick to say have a great evening. Hey, good evening to you. And I'm actually making a fairly quick video. So like I said, those are the books I got. I'll just quick show them off again for everyone that is a little bit late. But we've got Wonder Girl Annual 2020. This is the B cover. In case you wondered what the A cover looks like, it looks like this. Yarflora is one of my favorites. Hey, what is going on, Swish Rips? Next up, we have Harley Quinn Annual. We've got the Joneses 5 of 5. And speaking of which, this is a pretty metal. This looks like I think there is. I forget what that album is, but there's a metal album where someone's getting punched in the face, and I think they're spitting. This is, I think, kind of actually a cover swipe of that. And the final book we have Devil's Highway, Volume 2, 4 of 5. And if you want to see my entries to the contest for Astro-Creep, it was to have a record or movie with 13 in the title. And this is the Misfits. This is a collection, and it has the song We Are 138, which technically is 13. And for a movie that came out when I was 13, we have American History X. So that's my entry. Those are my comics. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you picked up this week, or if there is an album that has a 13 that you really like, or a movie with a 13 in the title that you really liked. As always, I've been Cole. Peace. Oh, and I guess I'll put this up real quick. Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. That's the title of the album.